1. Hello everybody, and thank you for taking your time out today to come and see something that's just going to blow your mind incredible. My name is Rodney Warren and I'm the team Gen Leader, and what I'm going to show to you today is something that you possibly haven't heard of, and the subject is on water. And if you think you know about water, well, wait till you see this. Again, my name is Rodney Warren. I have been a painter by trade for the last 20 some odd years. And my dad, unfortunately, died of cancer at 52, being in the same trade. And I knew that I was getting more and more toxic and feeling ill, and I knew that I needed to make a shift in my own life, but I just didn't know how or what I was going to do to be able to do what I love, regain my own health back, and possibly even avenge the death of my father with cancer. So what I did was I chose to do some power washing. Kind of goes hand in hand with painting, and so I started a power wash company in the Okanagan area. And as I was at a trade show promoting that business, a man came up to me and started to speak, and what he had said to me had basically put me on the journey to where I'm at today. So that's my story. I've started promoting what I'm going to share with you. I kind of got out of the paint trade doing what I really loved. And so basically what it is here is that change your water, change your life. That's the main focus today, if you will. And as you sit and pay attention today, I'm going to go through some things that are just going to be mind-numbing. It says 51% of Canadians reported excess weight, and about 17% of Canadians age 18 or older are in the obesity category. Basically, we have to take our own health into our own hands today. We must change ourselves and the community that we live in. So we're going to talk about some research done by the Russians of how people were living, like the Hunza people, for example, living 120 plus years. And they've traced it back to these people going on pilgrimages in different parts of the world, like Lourdes, France, Bordeaux, Germany, Mexico, and Delhi, India. And what they found was that they were drinking a miracle water, and the water that they drank basically is hydrogen rich, or had a lot of alkalinity to it. So the three properties we're going to talk about today with this miracle water that we're introducing is the fact that it's got three properties. It's an antioxidant, and I'm going to do a little test and show you how that works today. This water is microclustered, and it's alkaline, or anti-aging. Here's the operation where they're building the machines that we're going to be, where we get the water that we're going to be talking about today. And they're in over 400 Japanese hospitals today, using the different types of water for things like disinfecting, cleaning tools or wounds. Here, I just wanted to show you this slide because the company we're talking about today has been around since 1974. It's not new, it's over 40 years old, about 10 years in the United States and 6 years in Canada. And here's Mr. Ishiro, the president of the company that creates this miracle water that we were talking about today. Here's a manufacturer in Japan. And I just want to point out that the machine we're talking about today, the Kangen water machine made from Enagic, is created in-house. It's an OEM product, an original equipment manufacturer. Nothing is outsourced. Everything is built on the line right here in Japan. In fact, the machine, which we'll point out later, has a number on it, as they all do, and can be traced back to the actual technician that put the machine together should there be any problems. We've won a bunch of awards. The Japanese are very proud about the awards they won, but the biggest one is this ISO number here. Now that number is only found on surgical devices, heart, pacemakers, and that sort of thing. it is a medical device that we're getting this water from. Now, as we all know, we're being sold sickness. It's all a profit game, and even like I like to point out this vitamin water up here, which is highly acidic and really bad for your body, but yet they put it in a pill form looking type of bottle to suggest maybe this is healthy or this is medication for your body. Not so true, as we're going to find out. So the Japanese are number 1 in health in the world, and Canadians are approximately number 11, and I think we're falling. So the first property of the 3 that we want to talk about today is the antioxidant. And you know how you cut an apple in half and it starts to brown right away? Well, that's free radicals attacking that apple. Well, that's much what's going on the inside of our bodies, and that's why we're aging. So we want to talk about antioxidants and oxidants. These help fight free radicals. These are free radicals, and our technology comes together and neutralizes the free radicals, creates water out of them, flushes them out of our system, and effectively we can stop aging with this process. I'm going to show you a meter here coming up when we do a presentation, and I want to talk about the oxidative reduction potential, or the potential to reduce oxidation in our body. And the higher this number goes this way, with waters, tap waters, and sodas, the more oxidizing or the more rusting that's going on in our bodies. And as we progress this other way, and this is times 7 times 7 times 7, it's a logarithmic scale. We know that green tea is good for us in fighting free radicals, and we know cod liver is really good, but who likes the taste of it? And over here is the Kangen water machine at -400 or even beyond in the ORP. So I'm going to show you that, so keep in mind this chart for later. Again, I like to ask the question, who do you think is older in this picture? Well, obviously most people would say, and maybe yourself as well, this gentleman over here on my right would be the older in the picture. Mr. Ishiro is the president. We've introduced him, but actually they're the same age. They're actually school buddies. But when Mr. Ishiro started drinking the Kangen water 40 years ago, he effectively stopped aging. No gray hair, still stands straight up, full of energy, vitality. And his school friend here, who's taken over the US part of things, started drinking the water considerably later on in his life. Now, the second property of the 3 we want to talk about after the ORP now is the microclustering technology. Now, water is good, but if any normal bottled water like this is only going to hydrate at about 17%, whereas Kangen water hydrates about 87%. And the reason being that hydrogen, when it gets forced through the pipes in the city and makes its way to our homes or place of business, has been through so many crashes and turns that the hydrogen likes to clump together. And it can clump together anywhere from 15 to 100 molecules. Well, that simply doesn't fit into our cells. So we don't get proper hydration or detox effects from our bottled water or tap waters, and that are highly acidic, as we'll find out. But the Kangen water goes through an electrolysis process which breaks the atoms up. And we only have maybe 5 or 6, and it's shaped in a hexagonal shape that actually perfectly fits into the cells of our body for full hydration and pulls the acid waste and toxins out of our cells. So that's the second part of this amazing thing. Now, the machine that it goes through, again, it's a medical device from Japan. It'll go through a carbon and silver filter. Then it goes over plates. These are titanium dipped in platinum plates, medical grade. And when the water goes over them, it separates the acidic water coming out the bottom from the alkaline water coming out the top. It's about 230 watts of power, and bang, it separates it. So it's an amazing patented technology. Now I just want to point out, Our North American diet is very highly acidic, and it doesn't matter what we eat, everything has acid in it, and that's normal. But for example, bacon is going to have a lot more acid than blueberries. But either way we look at it, our bodies are becoming more and more acidic as time goes by, and the pollution and the stress and our American diet, everything is so acidic that eventually these kind of things start popping up in our lives. Acid reflux, arthritis, cancer, gastritis, gout, and obesity, just to name a few. The other part we're going to look at here is the pH balance. And I'm going to show some fluids here, some liquids that are drank daily that are highly acidic. Right here, 7.0, that's neutral. Our blood stays at about 7.365 or 7.4. It doesn't vary from that, or we could die. But our tissues always are going into either acidic or alkaline. And this is where cancer likes to live, right here in the 5.5. So what we want to try to do is pull us back into homeostasis and kind of stay alkaline, because cancer cannot live in an alkaline body. So keep that one in mind. And this is Dr. Otto Warburg, 1931, won a Nobel Peace Prize because he said that the root cause of cancer is oxygen deficiency, which creates an acidic state in the human body. He also discovered that cancer cells are anaerobic. They don't need oxygen and can survive in the presence of high levels of oxygen as found in an alkaline state, as we were talking about. He also won another Nobel Prize, but I think Hitler wouldn't let him accept that one at the time. So here's Mr. Wade Leichhardt, really nice individual, a bodybuilder, a vegan bodybuilder who went to Kangen water to improve his own sports and lifting abilities, winning a couple of Mr. Americas, I do believe, high up there anyways, don't quote me, but he's won a few awards for his bodybuilding efforts. And there's a bunch of books you can read on this. Your Body's Many Cries for Water, Alkalize or Die. But the one I really want to zone in on today is Dr. Hiromi Shinya, the enzyme factor. We're going to take a look at his slides. And he's a professor of surgery at the Albert Einstein College of Medicine and chief of endoscopy. He's done over 300,000 colonoscopies, I believe. And he's the one who co-invented the polyp remover, and they have to go in the back door there and go into your colon and get rid of cancerous polyps. So he has everybody go on a diet of raw vegetables and very highly alkaline diet, and he also has the people drink Kangen water. Now he doesn't promote it as in, he's not somebody who makes money for promoting Kangen water. He just realizes that it works great, and he's had no reoccurrence of cancer in any of his people. So here's a normal colon before drinking the Kangen water. You can see it's rubbery, it's full of acid waste, a bunch of food and stuff just collected there. And also, then the next, after 3 months, here's the same colon. It's nice and pinky and back to life again. Here's a 45-year-old female with breast cancer and chronic constipation. And then 3 months after. Incredible. Here's the last one, somebody with colon cancer. It's just literally black in the colon. And you can tell a lot about the health of somebody by the shape their colon is in. And here's 3 months after the water and after the treatment. So water is so important that they actually finally put it on the bottom of the food pyramid. Actually, it's even more important than oxygen, because without water, you can't even transport the oxygen to the cells. And just another chart to show how much water we are at. So here's my favorite part here. There's a fish tank. Little fishies are swimming around. They're all healthy. Everything's cool. Life is grand. Then all of a sudden they introduce a little bit of pollution in the heart, and the lungs are starting to feel effects in the skin. Then you add a poor American diet and some of these soft drinks, which we're going to show you, and the fish are getting sicker and sicker yet. the kidneys are starting to fail, the colon's not liking life. And so we add a bunch of Zantac and Imodium antidiarrheal and Lipitor and all that to the mix, just to freak these fish out even more, or the insides of our body in this case. Now, if you want to help the fish, what should you be doing? Should you be adding more pollution, more crap into it, more Lipitor and Zantac? No. Change the water. Change the water. Look at these happy fish again. Isn't that great? Blum blum. So every single person who has cancer has a pH that is too acidic. And when your body pH is alkaline, no illness and no disease. Isn't that great? So again, here's a few things you should do for good health: oxygenation, hydration, alkalization, and nutrition, and possibly 5 great exercise. So we have some different kinds of water. We have an 8.5 to 9.5 Kangen water, which is alkaline drinking water. Again, it's an antioxidant. It's microclustered, small enough to absorb our cells, and it's alkaline, pulling us into a healthier state of body. So we have a few different drinking waters. One's 7.0. Maybe you give that to your baby because babies come out perfectly alkaline. They don't need to be alkaline any more than they already are. So you can mix it for baby formulas, take some medications with it, that kind of thing. Also, we have some specialty waters. 11.5 strong alkaline water for cleaning and dissolving things. Really awesome. I'm going to actually show you a little bit about that when we get to the next part here. We have 5.5 or 6.0 beauty water, which is an astringent for the face. It's the same pH as our skin. Our skin is a little bit acidic, so we don't grow bacteria on it. But the women are paying like $25 and even up to $50 and $100 just for little bottles of this stuff. And then we have the 2.5 strong acidic water for disinfecting. Well, that's the end of our splash test demo. Now we're going to go over and I'm going to actually do the splash test. So that was the end of that demo. Now we're moving to the splash test.